Uh, so I looks like I'm gonna have issues with my Facebook account because of some permissions. So, but we are live. So hi everybody. As you know, I am your host Greg and my co-host Julio. Say hi, Julio.
Hey, hey everybody.
And our usual guest Juan and a new guest, Mr. Mark. So today we're actually talking about identifying what energy is according to us. And Juan actually had a really good answer for that. So I'll let Juan go first, trying to answer what is energy.
Mm. All right. So energy to the simplest, most component, it is just it's just an always moving, it's always growing, always dying kind of thing. There's no way of putting a thing to it where it can be a color, a shape, or a thing. It's always there. There's nothing more than that. It's always present. It's always going to be there. There's nothing more than that. That's the only thing that I can say about energy. There's nothing more. I mean, it's you can, yeah, it's always there. You can always feel it. Yeah. Basically, that's what it comes down to. There's nothing more to that. It's always there. It's always around it. It's always around things. It's always around a person. It's always there on everything.
I like that. What about you, Mark? Since
Yeah.
you're a guest and you're probably searching for it on the internet. Which is fine, It's the same thing I did. Me? Well, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look it up in the internet.
Uh,
Well, according to the internet, it says energy is the capacity of doing work. It may exist in potential, kinetic, thermal, electrical, chemical, nuclear, and other forms. I believe the energy you were talking about, Julio, is the spiritual energy. And
spiritual.
as we all know, energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it could be transformed. So I think like when we pass away or we die, our energy transform into something else. Our subconscious moves on. So yeah. And then we talking about energy, the next thing I want to know, it's like when you feel it, like it's the spiritual energy, like how do you interpret it? Or psychic energy, or when you walk to a room and you say the tension is so thick you can cut it with a knife, like that kind of energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
where do you receive it? In what sense do you receive it?
It's a weird sense. Sometimes it's like really cold. It gets cold. The temperatures change. Atmosphere. Yeah, and that's where everything starts.
For me, it's like the neighbors. Oh,
One.
they're smoking pot.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like that.
Yeah. Why don't we go with Mark, since he's our new guest over here?
Yeah.
Like when you feel something, like when you go to a party or you meet someone for the first time, like do you get a sense or a feeling? Do you get the sensation, the butterflies, or something?
Yeah, when I go for like a house of someone, like you can sense like a vibe, like like a welcoming energy or negative energy. It depends. It's difficult to explain how it feels. Like it's something like heavy or something. Yeah.
Where do you feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty interesting kind of things.
That's interesting, because for me, I'm pretty much more of a clairvoyant, so I really have to like stop and almost kind of enter that meditative state so I can start seeing the movie playing. Other than that, I won't feel anything. Or I can never pronounce this. Clairconscience. It's sensation of just knowing something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so hard because when you work with that, it's like the very first thing that pops into your mind. And the second thing that pops in, it's like the doubt. And then I don't know which one's which because they happen almost simultaneously. That I can't tell which one came in first, the doubt or that feeling. Mm-hmm. So that's how I feel it, just, and I see it. So I the vision is very important to me. So that's why I meditate myself to sleep, which is not a good thing, especially if you're working with something, you have to stay awake at least partially, before you dwell down that trance loop into the state sleep. So yeah. Mm-hmm. And
yeah. Sure.
One last question before we go into the readings is, it was like, when you get this feeling or premonition about someone and you're in a public place, do you actually approach these people, or do you keep it to yourself, or you just interpret it in your mind? Like, what is the next step you do with that?
I keep it to myself. I mean, I really don't talk to anyone about that. I mean, I'll tell people that I know and stuff like that, like with Julio and stuff like that, or someone that I know closely, but just a random person, I just don't. I mean, this is not a TV show and stuff like that. I'm not a TV show and stuff like that, a TV show star where I'm like, I'll feel comfortable. There's some people who feel comfortable, but I just don't. Unless I know you and stuff like that, I'm like, I'll let you know. If I don't, then I'll just keep it to myself and I'll just go along with it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair. What about you, Julio?
Oh, me? Well, sometimes like visions at night, in the middle of the day, anytime. So I get those visions, and if I know the person and I feel comfortable with that person, I'll tell them. But if not, I'll just keep it to myself and leave it. Just say. Sometimes I say a prayer, and that's it. And hope everything turns right for them. Don't. But yeah,
that, and they usually disappeared. But it maybe has happened maybe around 3 or 4 times where I mentioned that to the spirit, and that's it. And then like a month later, that person actually does come up to me, and they actually, I don't know how it happens, but they bring up the subject about, oh, you know what, like this lady, her mother was following, for example, this lady's mother was following me, and she was in a wheelchair. And I told her, look, it's been a week, and it's at the gym. So I'm like, it's been a week. I know you want to talk to your daughter, but she needs to bring up the subject. I am not going to talk to her. You followed me home yesterday. So I kind of, you need to figure it out. The following week, her daughter comes in, and everybody's chit-chatting. It was after a Zumba class. Everybody's chit-chatting. And she's like, you know what? I have to go home because I don't want to miss my show. It's the new season for the Long Island Medium. That's always been my cue. They have to bring up the subject about mediums. And I was like, you've been curious. And, I kind of said, hey, your mother's been here. And then we got into the reading. But yeah, that's the only way I approach this stranger about giving her a reading. But I actually told the spirit, hey, this is your homework. You need to bring them to me. I'm not going to go to some stranger and, because, and this was told to me by a medium, if you happen to go up to this woman and you tell her, oh, your father's here from the other side, and what if her father abused her? So you're not going to help her heal, but you could end up, out adding more trauma to the drama. So it's like, that's why you kind of have to figure out how to work with this and not just go to any strangers. Because I have encountered people that have done that. So, yeah. Unless, that's my story and that's my take on going to strangers. And I think it's a very important topic because some people do, when they start learning it, they just want to do it with everybody. you know. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's a
Yeah.
natural thing because you're learning how to. It's like you're learning. You're putting your foot into it, and you're sticking your foot into the water, and that's why people will go and be more open about it and stuff like that. But yeah, once you get into it a little bit much more deeper, start understanding, then you'll start learning how to, well, I'll keep this to myself,
to know. And if I start going into more details, people that are familiar with cancer, they will know that that's what I'm talking about. I had no idea that that's what I was talking about. That it was just a feeling that I was feeling, but but I was told to stop right there, and I guess that does come with experience, to know when to stop and to know when to keep going.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
Yeah.
I almost got my butt kicked when I was in high school by telling someone,
But
"Yeah, your
sometimes
boyfriend's cheating."
yeah, but sometimes the cards tell you like you cannot. I don't know. You get this sense right away that tells you say this, don't say this, say this. Only you know, but say this and say that. There's sometimes that I get that. Like I can see the cards and I'm like, okay, you can tell them that, but don't tell them this. They need to figure it out themselves. Or yeah, he's doing it, but don't tell her that right now. It's not time. She's not ready. She's not prepared.
See, I don't get
And
that.
that happens.
I
See,
rarely
and I
get
do,
that. What I get is
and I get it.
questions. I get meditation questions for the sitter, which the sitter is the person I'm reading. It says the cards are kind of questioning you. This is this where you really want to go? Is this the person you really want to be with? Is this the job you want to take? Like we did a reading, and it's actually online. I believe it was Abel. The cards say he was not going to get the job that he's currently in, and he said, but the card's also questioning, do you really want to leave your current job and be where you're at right now? And no, and be where you want to go. It says you have to push it if you want it. But all right, Julio, I'm gonna mute
Yeah.
myself.
Okay. Okay. The first card that I see is talking about money, money wise. So, money wise, you're kind of right now in a budget mode. You have to learn how to budget because you like to, yeah, you like to spend. I can see that. You like to spend a little bit of, you like the good things. You like money. You like stuff. You like to buy stuff, electrical things, and all that fun stuff. It's just telling me to budget your money a little bit because things are going to change for you in a good way, but kind of if you don't do it, it could send you it can go from good to bad. So be careful on that right now and your money wise on your spending. Don't spend too much that you don't spend the money that you don't have. That's what I'm trying to say. You want to do things a lot of things, not just one thing, a lot of different uh projects, different a lot of things. Okay, that's how I can say because there's like what we were talking about the blockage that the card will tell you when to stop, to say, not to say. So that's what it's just telling me right now. Don't say more. So just better to know, focus on you and put the most important things that you want to accomplish them. Don't, you know, do it step by step, one day at a time. Don't try to do 5 things in one day or 10 things in 20 days. Or if they're really, really big that you cannot do them in 1 day or 2 days, put them aside. Do them, but slowly. But don't force it to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. Hmm.
That it
Yeah, for now. Yeah, I have two
for
cards,
now?
but yeah, no. Yeah, for now.
Oh,
Yeah, I can.
interesting. Two
I
cards.
wouldn't do those two cards. Yeah,
Maybe
those
I'll
two
pull
cards
those
are
two
blocking.
cards.
Yeah, they're blocking. Well,
They're blocking.
no, they're not blocking. They're not blocking, but yeah,
They're blocking
kind
or
of.
they're not talking.
Well, they're talking to me, but not to him. That's what I will
Oh.
say. Yeah.
So I got the Nine of Rods and the Ace of Cups, and it's obviously reverse, as you can see here. And the Nine of Rods here kind of says that you're finally getting into a different state of mind, because it seems like in the past, maybe in the past, I would say maybe in the past 3 months, you've been having a difficult time sleeping. There's something been going in your mind. You've been the Ace of Cups reverse is giving me the sensation that you recently started to fabricate stories in your mind, and then you just run with it. And at the end of the day, it either did happen or it just didn't happen at all. So a lot of the issues and situations have to do with your overthinking. And it's that little feeling you have. And most of us, I don't know about Juan, but I have a hard time reading myself. When there's energy around and it pertains to me, I sometimes can't interpret it. And I make a big old production out of it in my mind. Oh, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. This person this, that person that. I just can't figure it out what it's saying to me about myself. But I can do it for someone else, which is, I don't know. Yeah. So that those are my 2 cents for the reading. I hope it made sense. So, anybody else had anything to add? Don't leave me in silence
No,
here.
no, I think no. I'm just looking at it right now, just meditating on something. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for me that's it too. Right now, it's like
Yeah.
yeah, I have two cards, but those two cards are they will talk, but they don't talk. You know,
Well, what are they? Maybe I can help you
getting
interpret them.
irritated. No, I got it. I got it already. Yeah, they already cleared out. So yeah,
Is it a cups?
yeah.
Is it
No,
cups?
no, it's just oh, oh, yeah, things. But yeah, so
I
who's
don't.
next?
You know. I hate. If it's not a movie, I hate suspense. Yeah. Anyways, why don't we
Okay.
let Mark talk and he can give us feedback?
Yeah,
We love feedback.
yeah.
Okay, so with, and especially with the month end, we have like a lot of ongoing with our billings and stuff, but that's it, you know. And some other, since I have like, I accepted like a bigger responsibility having a two building, managing a two building, having me like, stressed out those 3 months. So I guess that's the one, contribute, to why I have like lack of sleep. But I'm adjusting.
No, that's good. Yeah. Well, that those are my 2 cents. Unless one has anything to say.
Hmm. Juanito's not a psychic.
No,
Yeah,
he's psychic.
Juan is
I
not
just see.
psychic.
Well, well, I don't see any
Yes.
of that stuff because I don't got tarot cards and I'm not looking at someone's palm. But right behind you, there's like this dark thing. I'm thinking it's just the background, but on your face, on your forehead, where it's not covered by the other side, There's like this yellow. No, 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 you're good. I'm
Uh,
like right there above your eye. There's a yellow thing that's going out and going up to the sky, and it's just illuminating pretty brightly. Um, on the side of you, it's like that little energy that's going out. It's it's like still yellowish, but it's just turning into like this clear kind of flamey going up. And I'm just looking at it, and that's it. But the energy that's way closer to the door behind you, I can't tell if it's the shadow part of the house that's not covered by light, but it looks like something else that's there with you as well. And I think you heard me talking about that last. There behind you. Don't worry.
It's at the father's. I can't remember if the left side for me, if it was the father's side or the mother's side. I think it might be the mother's side. Mother. It's your mom's mom. She feels very comfortable. Like her passing wasn't, like tragic or unexpected. It's like you knew it was gonna happen. She speaks very fast. I don't understand what she's saying. She throws a couple of words here and there. Like, I don't know if it's Spanish or English. It sounds... Yeah, she didn't speak any... She spoke Tagalog only, right? Because that's all I hear.
Pokemon.
Yeah, she's saying that that some of the changes that are coming are a lot of things are going to stay the same, especially when it comes to family. She keeps showing me 2 different rooms. That means there's a few separations in the family, but there will be instances where they will have to communicate with each other, and it's like if something does get a little out of hand, it's almost like kind of stay out of it, because she's kind of saying like we all tend to share similar I like to gossip kind of traits, and there's certain circumstances where you kind of have to I have to stand back on this one. I hope that makes sense. Because it's more a transmission of energy, but the way she's speaking it's a little loud and quick and fast. Does that make sense? You look very pensive, Mark.
oh no, I'm okay.
Yeah, so I hope it made sense what I said. But this woman, she's been there for a while. I felt her before, but she has always told me not to say anything. So that's why I've never brought her up until now. The 2 of Swords to me kind of tells me that later on you might be confronted with a decision, or you will be asked a question that you're gonna have to answer. It could be to continue a friendship, to reach out to someone. It goes along the lines about communicating with other people. It has nothing to do with like, am I gonna take this? Am I gonna go here? Am I gonna go there? It gives me the sensation that about either reaching out to someone or breaking a barrier with someone or continue some kind of something with someone. But it's kind of up in the clouds. It's kind of up in the clouds right now. So it's more like a being question is, are you going to reconsider and reach out to this person or not? Because it almost feels like it has popped in your head before. So, Julio, what do your cards say?
Okay. Just really right now.
A 1-card reading, not a full reading.
You want them from the middle, from the top, or from the bottom?
Let's go from the actual middle.
Middle, okay.
Middle, because he's verse.
Oh, well, what if?
I thought I muted myself.
Don't get involved into it. Is just let them figure it out, right? Uh, justice is still there. Justice is to do justice, but it's still there. But just he knows he knows who he's looking for, and he's leaving the rest of the people know. But he's making himself known that he's still there.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, that is it for
comments?
me. Questions, comments, pregnancies that we need to know about.
Yeah.
Pregnancies?
We'll see if people. Oh yeah, we can. Let's announce it. We're gonna do tarot night, right? We're gonna start doing.
Yeah,
tarot
well,
night
let's work on the
Wednesdays?
details and then I'll publish it. I'll publish it on Facebook.
All right.
So,
Yeah, we'll publish. Yeah,
Yeah.
keep it on.
All right.
people.
bye everyone.
All right.
Greg, before you
See
go,
later.
Greg,
Yeah.
are you free to talk tomorrow with me and Julio and you? I got a quick question to ask you, but this is not for everyone.
Yeah. Well, we can go on Meets right now and I can send you the link. I'll send it to
All right,
Julio.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
All right. Bye everyone.
We'll see later.